In order to optimize the deep stretch that you're going to get in the calf, more specifically in the tight tissues that have brought you to the place where your arch is in the shortened, retracted position, and you're bearing more of the weight to the outside of your foot, which then causes your lower leg to rotate in. To have an impact deep on all these fascial tissues through here, we want to either use a slant board to put our forefoot on, or we can use a towel to help prop up our front foot. And in either case, we are going to use a towel underneath our heel. You are going to fold it 3 times and place the towel under the inside half of the heel and partially into the arch. That will help set that positioning. If you happen to have a slant board, you can put your toe spacers on and then place the front foot on the slant board and then move into a stretch from here. If you do not have a slant board and we're just going to use towels to support your heel and foot in as neutral position as possible, you're going to fold one hand towel 3 times. You're going to place the inside half of the heel and just into the arch onto that towel. Take a second hand towel, fold it 3 times, and this one you're going to put underneath the second toe through the outside of the foot. We want to keep the big toe off that edge. So, looking here at the foot, the back towel is just halfway through the heel and a little bit into the arch. That's going to provide us a little stabilization there through the heel and picking up the forefoot. And we want you don't want it too deep on there. We want to try to get the big toe joint onto the ground. It's very important that you're able to try to keep that pressure there. And now as I move through the ankle to try to find a stretch point, this should help assist you to push the knee to the outside. So as you're flexing through the ankle, think about pushing the knee to the outside of the foot, but you're pushing the big toe down. So the big toe is going down and the knee is coming to the outside. Now we'll get into that stretch position, pressing the big toe and the heel down into the floor. And you're going to hold this stretch for 2 minutes. This should help you find a deeper experience of tissue that you can stretch. Now, with the knee straight, you're going to feel this more in one area of the calf. With the knee bent, it will move lower to around the heel, around the Achilles tendon. So scan the stretch, move through the various positionings of knee bending to see where you have the most experience with resistance. And where you have the most resistance, you want to hold that. If you happen to have tightness throughout the calf in all of those knee positions, you can choose a different position each time that you hold this 2-minute stretch. As you're holding the stretch, if the tissue starts to loosen up and you're able to move deeper into the stretch, you should, making sure that your heel is pressing down and that big toe is staying down as well. Trying to neutralize that foot as we flex and bend into that ankle. After you've completed your 2-minute deep calf stretch, particularly with supporting the foot in a more neutral position to get a deeper stretch through those really tight, deep tissues. We want to do a couple of exercises for the foot to help strengthen those intrinsic muscles, in addition to you practicing wearing your toe spacers every day. I'm going to use this toe band that I have from Blackboard Training. You can use either a thin piece of TheraBand, exercise band. I would choose something with a medium resistance. You can also use a hair elastic if that's all that you have, or a rubber band. So what we're first going to do is we want to make sure that we have the whole foot planted. If you're still having trouble maintaining the neutral foot, meaning contact through the front of the foot, the whole knuckles of the toes, as well as the whole heel, I want you to put that towel underneath the inside part of the heel again to help assist you. That would be your foot is locked in this retracted position and the weight being more to the outside. If you're really stuck in this position, use things to help assist you to get a stretch through the arch to help this relax through here and your ankle in a more neutral position. So we'll begin by putting the band underneath the pad of our big toe. You're going to first just allow the band to pull the big toe up. Okay, when you first do this, probably all your toes are going to come up, unless you're so tight you have really restricted motion. So if you pull the big toe up and all the toes come along with it, I want you to first practice to try to press the small toes down. If you're not able to do that, then take your other hand and hold the small toes down, okay? So this would be an assistance initially so that you can help separate your control over your big toe and your small toes. So if you need to, keep holding those small toes down while we exercise the big toe. The exercise for this will be to just simply press the pad of the big toe into the ground, and then we're going to let it bring it up, but control the motion. Don't just let it fly up with the band, and press down for 2. And we're going to do 15 of these. Press down for 3. As the big toe is coming up, you can think about pressing the small toes into the ground to help assist you. 4, 5, 6, 7. If you're having a lot of trouble and you're not going to be able to make it to 15 without doing the motion completely wrong or straining something, then don't force yourself. Take a pause, and then you can come back to it. And over time, you'll build up tolerance and you'll build up strength. That's 10. We got 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we want to do pulling the toe to the inside, and you can, same concept, if you need to use your other hand to press the small toes down, you can do that to help you, although that might be a little bit more challenging. So just do the best you can. Okay, so I'm going to press my small toes into the floor as I pull the big toe to the inside. 3, 4, and I'm trying to maintain that neutral foot and ankle positioning. Try to control it back. Even for me, there's a lot of feedback here, and my toes are, everything's moving around a whole bunch. 13, 14, 15. So you're only going to be using as much resistance as you can actually control. So this next one, now we're going to pull the toe to the inside, and then we're going to work on pulling it out. This is going to be very challenging for a lot of people, especially if you have a bunion, because the muscle that's through here for this big toe has gotten very, very weak, and it's probably very tight. So you press those small toes in, and then you work on pulling that big toe to the outside. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see that muscle contracting there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. Our fourth exercise, our last but not least, is going to be short foot. So basically, these are crunches, but with the arch of your foot. So with the foot on the ground, you want to think about the whole foot here is going to translate back toward the heel, and you're going to kind of spike up through the arch of the foot. If your foot is already restricted in this high position, you're not going to get much movement, but it's important that you start building the neural messaging to these tissues to start activating them in this way. Putting your toe spacers on, your Zen toe spacers, will be helpful and to assist you during this exercise. If you want to put those on, hit pause. Now we're going to think about just pulling the front of the foot back towards the heel, keeping the heel on the ground, and like crunching up through the arch, okay? So in the beginning, if you really have a hard time, you can assist yourself by kind of pushing the foot back, trying to hold that position, and then slowly letting it release, okay? So if this is very challenging for you, you're not going to do the repetitions as I'm doing. You're going to just pull on the arch, pull up on the arch, and push back through the forefoot to lift everything up. Hold for 1, 2, and then you're going to try to control, slowly letting it relax, okay? In the beginning, this can feel absolutely impossible, but I promise if you keep practicing, it will get easier. Okay, so we're going to do 15 repetitions of short foot. Keeping the knee in line with the foot or to the outside. The whole foot is in neutral contact with the ground. And let's begin with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Great job. Just remember, practice makes better.